What is going on, guys? It is Foreign, and welcome back. It is Foreign Fridays, and on Foreign Fridays, it's pretty much just any random topic that I feel like talking about. So, I haven't had a chance to give my final assessment of Titanfall, so that's what we're going to do today. So, in the background, you guys will watch just random clips of gameplays and just this and that. Nothing in particular, a mixed match of things, I guess you could say. So let's get into it. So, I just want to start off by saying that I'm really enjoying this game. It is a lot of fun, and I find myself just enjoying it and not getting frustrated, especially like when I play with my friends or when I play with a party. And I think that a lot of multiplayer online games are like that. If you're playing with other people, it's really enjoyable. If you're playing by yourself, you can get annoyed by certain things. So let's actually hop into the actual review of it all. And I just want to also state that I don't care if you guys are gonna get all pissy that I make comparisons to Call of Duty or other video games, because I'm only making them because people know those games. Not necessarily that they are a direct correlation to each other, but that it's something that is familiar to the majority of people that play video games, or at least play online shooters. And a lot of my subscribers played Call of Duty, so if you haven't played Titanfall, it's a decent comparison that you can kind of get in the right mindset. So, first off, I want to start by saying that the pros of the game. So far, from just the time that I've played, which is a decent amount. I wouldn't say that it's a lot. I'm trying to step away from gaming a little bit and playing it more as a fun factor than to grind out levels and, just constantly play. So I don't play very often. The game modes that are in this game are actually, they're pretty enjoyable. I find myself really enjoying, capture the flag when I'm playing with some people. I play attrition with other people. I play domination hardpoint with other people. So really, it's nice to be able to mix it up, and it's one of the first games that I'll constantly mix up the game modes that I play. Normally with a game like Call of Duty, I would play a domination or a kill confirmed, or something like that, where it's more objective based. So me playing attrition so much now, it's different, and I think that attrition is different enough from a team deathmatch or a Slayer than most people might think, because it's not just pilot on pilot. You get rewarded for even just killing the grunts and killing the specters and stuff like that. So it's nice that even a player that isn't the greatest can still benefit the team to get the W. Because I mean, that's really all that matters to me, is getting the win. I could care less about my stats. Which, this is another thing. There's no online leaderboard, so it's hard to be able to compare yourself to other people. At least there's no leaderboards yet. I'm sure that in the future they might add in a leaderboard where you can check out who's the best in the world and where you stack up against your friends stat-wise. But stats really don't explain who is a better player. Stats are a statistical representation of how someone plays, but not necessarily a full representation of how they play. Something that I think that has actually been done pretty well. I'm going to have to say that the weapon balance and the number of weapons is a good mix. You have some assault rifles, you have some SMGs, you even have a primary pistol. There's sniper rifles, obviously, and they're a good mix, and they're a good playstyle change. And I would say that there isn't anything that's really outbalanced, something that's so overpowered. I find myself getting killed by the smart pistol quite a bit from behind, so you don't really have a chance to react, which sucks. But at the same time, when you look at it, if they were using the carbine or something like that, that they would have killed you anyways, no matter what. So when you kind of put that into perspective, you don't think that it's so overpowered. I still can't stand the smart pistol, and I really don't like that they added it in. But at the same time, it's nice for players that maybe don't have quite as good of gun skill as others. So that's actually something else I'd like to talk about. The gun skill in this game, it's not a fast kill time like like Call of Duty. It's a bit lengthier, more of like Battlefield or Halo. So more gun skill actually comes into play here. Whereas it's not it's targeted to be more of an arcadish style shooter. With the movements and the types of guns and really the limited playability. But at the same time, it still does take some skill to be good at the game. I do find myself getting killed by people and they have 1% health, and that really irks me every time that I see that in the kill cam. Something that they didn't fully put into the game that I'm actually really liking a lot is the fact that you don't have to watch kill cams. I got so into the rhythm of playing Call of Duty that I didn't really care about the kill cams. I didn't care how someone killed me unless I was trying to find where they were. They put it into the game where you don't actually have to watch the kill cam. You can actually just hit A and spawn right in, or you can hit X to replay your death, which is nice. So it takes out that constant having to see a kill cam. And now you actually have the option of not even having to view it at all, instead of having to hurry up and mash X so you can respawn. Something that is a good balance in this game is the Titan to pilot combat. I don't find that I'm totally outmatched if I'm a pilot going up against a Titan. I don't feel quite the same when I'm going up against pilots and I'm in a Titan, but I would say that that's probably just the years of conditioning from playing first-person shooters, that me and a Titan against somebody that's in a pilot, I do fairly well. I think that a lot of people that constantly ride in their Titans aren't really the greatest, at least from what I've seen. I haven't really played against people that are super difficult that I just could not beat. Yeah, so my overall assessment of the game, though, they did a really good job, and I think that it's living up to the hype. And I'm really looking forward to the DLC that should be coming out probably in the next month or so. We should start hearing about some DLC. Hopefully, we'll get some more game modes and we'll get some new weapons. And there's a few things in this game that they didn't put in to begin with that kind of bothers me. One thing that they didn't put in the game is being able to name your pilot, being able to name your Titan. It's something so simple that people that play Call of Duty have become accustomed to. I don't believe that in Battlefield you could name your actual classes. I think they were just always the set names, assault or medic or whatever they were. I don't remember. I didn't play it enough. And then I know with Halo it was more of you just spawned in for the most part until the more recent games. So that was one thing that just kind of was weird. They didn't put it into the game, and it's something that was so simple and should have been in the game. So it kind of disappointed me when I found out I couldn't name my Titan or I couldn't name my different classes, so I knew what was what without having to sit there and look at all my class loadouts. I've had a good amount of time using all the different weapons, whether it's for the pilots or the Titans, and obviously I have my favorites, but they all have their purpose. There's a few that's for the Titan, for example. You have the quad rocket, which is really nice against a cluster of people, especially when you see a cluster of grunts that just drop in, and it's nice to be able to launch that, and your cluster of 4 rockets will basically take out the whole group. And then you have things like the arc cannon, which shoots the giant laser, which is it's different, and it's also something that is kind of new because it kind of bounces from one person to the other. It's different than some of the high-powered charge weapons that you would have in Halo, but it's still familiar enough that it's not extremely difficult to use. And then you have your anti-Titan weapons, which are all decent. I prefer to use the Sidewinder just because I feel like when I have a fully automatic weapon in my hands, it's a little more powerful, even though it's really not that much more powerful, if at all. So far, I'm really impressed with the game. I think that they, with even just the beta itself, because the beta felt really nice, just from even just the different movements now that we have, to the weapon balance. Obviously, we only had 2 maps before, and those maps are great. I thought that they flowed really well. I really don't have a map that I just absolutely hate. There's some maps that I don't like how some people play on it because it's so either it's way too open and it actually does take quite a bit of time to get from point A to point B, or you have some of the maps, like I can't exactly remember the names of them all right now, but the one that's it has like the super tall buildings that you can basically jump between, or the giant walls that are above you. I guess they're not really buildings, but it's like a map like that like annoys me. Like I played on that and I got spawn trapped. Surprisingly, I didn't even think that that was a thing. I didn't think you were gonna be able to do that, but it's just some people just play like assholes, and it's nothing that you can really change with a new game. It's how people play, and it's how there's no, you can change the game, but you can't change the player. The players are always going to play the same, and it's because they became so accustomed to, camping and, sitting in one place. When this game definitely calls for more of a run and gun and more of a action-packed arcade-ish thing with the parkour and the double jumps and all that stuff, and it is what it is. So overall, I mean, if anybody has not tried this game, and they're even slightly interested, I would definitely say to pick it up. And if you don't feel like dropping the $60, maybe just find a friend that has it and go over there, give it a few games and see what you think of it. But I definitely think that this is a nice breath of fresh air when it comes to the first-person shooter genre, and hopefully there will be more to come. Hopefully with DLC coming out, just amplifies the experience of the game, and then hopefully, I mean, I'm not all on board for this, but with Titanfall 2, hopefully it does go to multiple consoles. I know that the PlayStation guys really got shafted this time around, and it's because Microsoft was paying EA money. I mean, that's why Xbox got it, and that's why PlayStation didn't. They had full intentions of making it for both. So hopefully next time around, everyone will get to enjoy it and it'll change the game. I think it'll change the first-person shooter game. I think it'll make other places, step their game up and make better games. And then just one really quick last thing. The campaign. I don't like that it's a constant multiplayer campaign. With this coming out of nowhere, I would have really enjoyed to play a normal campaign and actually learn about, why the IMC are fighting the militia, why there's Titans, what the fuck is going on. Instead of, hopping into a multiplayer campaign lobby and you get little audio clips. I would have liked to have actually played it out and actually really lived it. So that's one little downfall. A lot of people don't like single player games, but I think that this one definitely could have called for one. And I blame everyone for not having a single player in this game, because most people don't enjoy first-person shooter single players, and that's why they're not putting them in, and that's why they're not as prevalent anymore. Like the old Call of Duties were amazing, and now the new campaigns are terrible. And I mean, the Battlefield campaigns are really nice, but it is what it is. And I digress. And yeah, basically my assessment: great game, really enjoying it. I think that they definitely lived up to the hype, and hopefully you guys also enjoyed. If any of you guys play it, let me know. If I don't already have you added on Xbox, and I can go ahead and do that. So anyways, I will talk to you guys later. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like if you did. Let me know that you enjoy it. It helps me to know that you enjoy it, and helps me bring out more content to you guys. So anyways, I will talk to you next time. Bye.